Ready? Hi, it's Ann. And
This is Lisa. Welcome to this episode of the Soapbox. And we've got,
it's been a while.
yeah, it's been a while. And we've
Yes.
got a couple of additions here.
I thought you were going to say
I'm
something
Stephanie.
else.
Yep, this is Stephanie,
Who's
and
that?
that is Ann's wife. And what is your name, young lady?
I feel really creepy right now
Why?
because she said young lady.
Oh,
She is the youngest.
you're the youngest.
Yeah, she is. That's Jamie. That is my wife.
Yes.
They are going to. They just, they're going to help us out and
Try to make
impress
us funny.
Yeah. So,
You already are.
we like their input. They bring another dimension, to our conversations, and we were lucky enough now that we've got extra mics, and we're gonna rock and roll with it. So,
So we're going to shout out to Jake,
Jake
yep,
from
Who
State
is
Farm.
Pittman.
not Jake from State Farm.
Oh,
Jake
Yes.
Pittman.
for helping us get
Steph-
set up.
No, Ann,
yes, Jacob. Thank you very much.
Ann's
My
nephew.
great nephew.
Great nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ann's old. She has great everything now at this
I
point.
do.
Super nice dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I have great too. His daughter is a great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we said, Ann is old as dirt, and she owes Jesus Christ money. So,
I do.
so
I
Turn
do.
us down a little more,
so today,
please.
We're having
we-
technical difficulties.
yeah, we're still
Well, that's why we didn't
our
record the last couple of Fridays.
okay. Are you guys
Technical
better now?
difficulties.
Are both of you okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, we spent some time rearranging and adding.
You're
And-
too high.
I'm too high. I wish I was too high.
Number one.
Oh, sorry. How's that?
Even go there.
Okay.
I've been too high before. Is
How are we doing?
that better?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Stephanie and Jamie have been behind the scenes helping us with producing and all the little things that go into making this podcast. So now they're joining in. So today we are going to discuss. They have no idea what we're going to discuss
We
because
don't.
Anne doesn't ever
Prepare.
remember where her notes are when she does write anything down.
I love that.
And Stephanie didn't know that she was even going to be in the podcast today. And Jamie was too busy worrying
We are
about
too.
other things. So that leaves me surprising them. So today, one of the conversations that we're going to have is about kids, social media, the news, and the kind of things that we expose our children to. So the first question I'd like to put out there is, what age should kids be introduced to social media, do we think? Because, you have to introduce them to social media because life is, full of...
Life is futile without it.
Well, it's not that it's...
For some
I don't feel
people.
like it's futile, but,
I
I
don't
get too much information too young.
yeah. So what age do you guys think that we should introduce them to social media? I mean, I'm not saying give them the whole ball of social media. I mean, start them out with something.
Well, unfortunately, kids these days are very tech savvy.
More so than us.
Yeah. And it wouldn't take much for them to get the full ball of wax.
Right.
Well, they're literally born into it if you think about it.
They are.
Right.
New mothers want to stay home with their kids, so what do? They become photographers. But they become professional photographers. So next thing you know, their kids and their friends' kids are all online. Their photos are all online,
Right.
and they photograph them and put them on social media for, you know what I mean? You can literally,
Advertisement.
you can literally see them grow in their life through these photos that they put online. So they are literally born into it. I think
Okay.
there's.
So
When
how do you ready your
Well-
kids for what's on
Well,
there?
my
Because
granddaughter's only 2, and she wigs out if I take my phone from her, and she's 2, and she likes to scroll.
and
I don't think she knows what she's doing, but I think she likes to scroll.
and we bought her an iPad. She hasn't been allowed to use it yet, and I got her one of the ones where has the parental controls. That she doesn't have to be online. They can just or she can watch movies on it, play kids games, and so on and so forth. But the world is just a lot different than when we were kids. I mean, computers were just starting I mean, and we all, when we first got on computers, it was all in DOS. There was no Windows. There was no,
Set up,
MS
run.
DOS.
right.
Right.
So,
Colon slash.
Mhm.
that leads me to my next question. Doesn't really sound like we answered the first one because,
Well, I would say about 14-ish.
yeah. And what are you saying happens at 14?
Well, if you do that, then you're abusing your kid because they don't have an iPad or
Well,
iPhone like everyone
exactly.
else does at school.
But that's what my
So-
thought is. But a lot of people are giving kids their phones.
Well, yeah, if everybody
play
did that, it'd be
games.
good.
Well, here's the other thing. The schools are using iPads in school now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like,
that's what Hayden uses.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally. It's not even about just you saying I don't want my kid to be ready, or I don't want to get my kid exposed to that yet.
I
But
don't think they have a choice.
No,
yeah.
they don't.
So then, how do you? And let me remind all you folks, we might be all lesbians, but Jamie and I share 5 children together, and Ann and Stephanie have 2 children, and we all have grandkids. So we have experience with kids. We're not just rambling on like we don't know what we're talking about. Even though it sounds like
we don't know that.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we've all been, we've all had kids and we've all went through these things. So
Yeah.
I just thought this would be a good conversation to have. The other thing is, with everything that's going on in the world right now, you've got the situation with Iran and all of those kind of things that's going on. At what age do you, start talking to your kids about, and how much do you let them know what's going on? Hey, there's,
How much exposure?
yeah, how much exposure do you let them know of what's going on, and when do you do that? Because,
I think they should know immediately
but at what
going
age? At what age, Stephanie? I mean,
when they can ask the questions.
Yeah.
Do you let them come to you?
Middle
or do you go to
school?
them? I
Middle
would let them
school?
come to me because
Right.
then they're inquisitive and then they want to know.
Right.
I'm not just going to cause undue stress to my child if
Right.
they don't ask.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Oh yeah, we're in a war. Oh my God, gas prices.
If they
Da, da, da,
ask,
da, da,
don't
da.
lie to them.
Well, no, absolutely
No,
not.
that's what I mean.
But
I know what you're saying.
yeah, I don't want to cause them undue stress and be like, well, hell, we may not be here. We're going into war, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to worry my children.
No, we have
They
a
have enough
president that
worries.
does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right in the Oval Office with kids standing around him. Well, we might not be here.
Who does that around kids? That is just asinine.
Well,
Donald,
look who we're
John
talking. Look who we're
Trump.
talking about.
Oh,
And
his
here's-
middle name's John.
Yeah,
Oh God.
and only Ann would know that.
Yeah, because I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't.
And
know
here's
that. I didn't know that.
and here's the other question I have is, with AI being a big part of
That's all.
the world today,
I don't get it.
and my mom had a lot of problems determining
I don't
between
get it.
what is real and what's not real. How do we teach our kids how to recognize something? Because sometimes I don't even
You
know.
can't tell.
You
Yeah.
can't tell, and I mean, I guess at some point I think I'd tell my kids, if you see something and it gives you enough thought, maybe we should talk about it and we could figure it out together, because it just kind of
Question everything.
question everything, because it really makes you wonder, what can we believe and what's real. And that brings me back to the whole Donald Trump life attempts, on his life.
Mhm.
Were they true attempts, or were they some kind of staged
They were
propaganda?
sad to begin with because nobody made a good hit.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is that can very well be something that's,
They weren't very good aim.
right. But you know what I mean? Is
I know.
it something?
Well, is he?
How do you guys
his ear
feel?
healed pretty quick from the first one.
Right. I mean,
He probably had good surgeons, but
But,
whatever.
I just,
On his ear. Really?
Look what they did with his hair.
We're getting it. She's trying to have a conversation, and we're off on a.
but yeah, I know I'm just
Mhm.
curious about these things, and then times have changed. Like I said, I've said that quite a few times, but times have changed. Like, and should kids and when they're teenagers, should they be exposed and have part-time jobs? Do you think it's important for kids to have a part-time job, to learn how the importance of money and
Absolutely.
Sure.
They have once. They need to learn how to get it.
Well, I believe that jobs will help them do several things. One, be responsible. Two, learn about money.
Mhm.
Three, and get out there and learn how other people are.
Social skills. Yeah.
Social skills, right?
Mhm.
You can go out there and you can see how other people act, how they treat you, how you treat other people, how they treat each other, how they treat their surroundings.
That leads me to another question. Do you think that kids are lacking in those since
yeah.
Absolutely.
they have so much exposure to computers and phones that they don't know like we did. We didn't have that stuff. So everything was social for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even when we're out at a restaurant, if you've ever just sat and looked around, one person at least at a table is on their phone.
Right.
Absolutely.
People are so distracted by it. They don't sit and talk like the people used to in the day.
Right.
Mm-mm.
I do remember when we would take, I remember it especially with Colin and Lane, were two youngest kids, but Jamie would, when we'd take them out to dinner and the waitress would come to the table, she would encourage them to order themselves rather than
Mhm.
than us order for them.
Well, they were almost embarrassed to talk to the waitress.
Exactly.
Well, you got to do it yourself, man. I can't order your
Hayden's
food. For
kind of like that.
yeah, you got to order your food for. I'm not going to order your food for the rest of your life, dude.
Right.
But I used to think that was really good. Like I was
you got to
glad that,
expose them to talking to other
Yeah.
people, like talking to strangers that aren't danger. You know, a waitress isn't a danger.
Well,
I would hope not, but
Hayden learns road rage. I mean,
not shocking.
that's not
Who did she ride with all
and
week?
that's
How
not a social skill.
how to treat people. That's road rage.
Let's flip them the bird. Well, now if the kids have part-time jobs, which
Yes.
you know all of our kids they did, but
Yeah.
if their grades start tumbling, then
That's first.
you know then I guess then that's when the job would go. But yeah, I just was curious how everybody you know else feels about kids and part-time jobs, and none of us forced our kids because we couldn't take care of them to get a job. You know, what I mean, it wasn't a matter of
Yeah,
them
it wasn't
helping
a
with.
matter of
They were either
having to.
We
Right.
just didn't want to anymore.
We told her that rent is due at the first of the month.
Yeah, we
but,
did. Didn't start her first job. Rent's due the rest of the month.
But I do think it's important in teaching them how to manage their own money and how it feels to, you know, you look at your parents go to work and they tell you how tired they are and how much they had to deal with in a day, but it doesn't mean crap to you.
It doesn't sink in until you actually have to live it and feel it yourself.
And then you have to pay and buy a pair of jeans out of your paycheck and you realize,
Because when you're
Wow.
at home, when you're at home, everything magically appears. The
Right.
laundry's already done.
Right.
The dishes are already done. Dinner's already made.
there's
food
toilet
in-
paper all
right,
the
There's
time.
food in the refrigerator. There's toilet paper.
I don't know what it's like to be without shampoo and conditioner or laundry soap or any
Right.
of that thing. Yeah.
Your socks are clean. Your underwear
And
are
that's
clean.
funny because that's one of
Your
our
sheets are clean.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that our kids kind of complained about when they moved out. They're like, wow, we didn't realize all of the things that you have to buy just to keep your household, you know, how much it costs
Yeah.
to dish soap, you know, or, you know, your bathing, your body soap and those kind of things because you had them paid for.
It's
So,
great.
yeah, and I do think it's important. And one of the things that we really stress to our kids is I wanted them to enjoy some of their money, but we kind of forced them to save some of it too.
Mhm.
I don't think that's forcing. I think that's
Yeah.
good money
You know,
management.
right. And
A teaching moment.
yeah,
Mhm.
just say, you know, teaching them how to save. And then, you know, even you save for a rainy day, you save for, you know, you always pay yourself first, you know. And, but yeah, I don't think they like that part of it. They're like, because they were like, well, I made this money. It should be mine. But, well, you've got to learn how to manage it was the whole thing, you know.
And that can be difficult in itself because they don't teach that stuff in school, which I think is wrong.
Right. There should be an economics class. And I think
Man,
there
I'll
was,
tell you what.
wasn't there? You're the oldest one here. And I don't mean that to push on you, but, well, maybe I do.
No, they didn't teach me that.
They didn't teach you anything like that either.
They
They
have like
taught, back then, older than dirt,
Dirt. Yeah.
they taught typing, shorthand,
Sewing.
home ec, sewing, cooking.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
But nothing about managing money.
Nothing about managing money.
now that was from a female's point of view, yes.
That was, yeah.
because there's other
Guys
things
had
for
wood
men.
shop and
AutoCAD.
Hey, now I went to when I
Yeah,
went to
something.
school.
I did wood.
I had to do wood. Yeah, so did
Yeah,
I.
I
had to
made
do
it.
both.
I made a duck that had a hole through the head with scissors
Yeah,
for the bill.
did you?
Seen those?
No.
You know what's funny is
No?
I made like a little pencil box or something, and it had Elkhart Central or whatever when I was a kid. But Daniel made this beautiful bowl,
Mhm.
and then he made this awesome clock, and I'm thinking, man, my stuff didn't look right. I still have those things, by the
Well, and
way.
then Ryan made a gavel, didn't he? This big
Yeah.
ass huge gavel.
Yes.
It's like, what the hell?
But you know what I mean? But they did, looked a lot better than my, whatever. But I think those are kind of nice because a lot of times kids don't ever get exposed to tools and they, or things like that. But the whole thing is they don't teach kids about managing money.
I didn't know what a
I
mortgage
don't
meant
think so. I didn't either.
until I was older.
Right. Or a credit score or any of those, how it works.
Until I was at
Do
least
you
in my
remember
20s.
doing a business class, but it
Did you?
wasn't anything to like save you money and get yourself further in life by paying yourself first. It was nothing like that.
Well, I did join Junior Achievement when I was a kid, and we did a business that way, it was not through school. It was something extra outside of school, but I did that on my own. But yeah, there's not a lot of exposure, I think, for kids, and I think it does come back to the parents and letting them have a job of some sorts, even if it's just mowing lawns or babysitting or whatever,
Flipping a burger.
or flipping a burger, whatever it might
Tossing
be.
some pasta.
So, do you guys have any thoughts on some other things that, kids are getting exposed to or should be or shouldn't be or what we should do about it? Silence is overwhelming.
Well, it would have been nice to prepare for some of this.
She's exposed. They're exposed to everything.
Well, yeah.
I mean, everything.
So,
Commercials.
yeah.
like, who gives a rat's butt that a carrot is crooked?
About a man's penis.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
And I don't really understand why they put those commercials on TV, because if you have a problem, you're going to go to your doctor and they're going to tell you about this medication
And what it is.
and what it's used for.
This crap with a crooked carrot, and it's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell?
I had no idea what they were talking about until like the end of the commercial. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's
How
been a
many
while since you had
commercials
kids, Jamie.
How many commercials there are about a pill that men can take, and it's like
That makes your penis
Jesus
straight.
Christ, yeah. And then show a crooked carrot.
I don't understand.
Hello.
I'm confused.
And then everybody's happy. All of a sudden they're dancing around.
Yeah. They're all,
He no longer does left turn.
So talking about that,
talking about it.
I noticed that when Lisa and I are watching TV, all these commercials come on, they're about medicine.
Yeah.
So you know what I do? I yell at the TV and say, listen, nobody here has scoliosis or liver disease or breast cancer.
Or psoriasis. Or
No one here has psoriasis. And you know what? I won't see that commercial for 6 days.
it just starts all over again.
Am I right?
Yeah, no.
then-
It's the same shit.
And then when they do put a commercial on, they put a commercial on that has nothing to do with like any medicine. They'll put a commercial on and they'll repeat the commercial like 6 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Seen that.
Because nothing else to put on it.
It's
Well,
ridiculous.
Because our TVs are listening to us.
Yeah, and if
Our
you get
devices
these
are
side
listening to
effects
us.
like your butthole bleeds or your
Yeah.
eyeballs
Well, you
pop
know,
out or whatever, then
look at
don't
the-
take this medicine. What the hell? Why
Well,
would I take it if that was happening?
Yeah, no kidding.
You know
The
what I'm
side
saying?
effects are absolutely horrendous.
Yes.
Fainting, sweating blood. Your eyes are going to fall out. Oh my God.
Oh my
no.
God.
I'm going to do that. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, don't let me forget my 2:00 meds.
Yeah, so my eyes can fall out and my asshole can.
And
Start flapping.
And
I don't
kids hear this junk.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to be the devil's advocate right now. When we were kids, we had some stupid ass commercials. You had Flippin' My Bic, which is a lighter
Like your
commercial.
Bic, yeah.
Flip your Bic. You had
Marlboro.
Yep.
Yeah,
Marlboro
and
Man.
how many people were enraged that they were advertising cigarettes,
Cigarettes.
and lighters and
Yeah.
Everybody smoked them now.
Alcohol. Oh yeah, they did. You couldn't go
I
to
mean,
anybody's house and
everybody.
Well, they
smell.
still do
not smell.
alcohol commercials. They do
I
still
would
do alcohol
rather
commercials.
listen to those than the sex ones.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, we kind of had those too.
Well, they did
What
raise-
about the commercial? It was let's see, bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. Remember that commercial?
No.
Yeah, I know you do, Jamie.
Oh
You don't?
no,
Oh well, it was.
I remember.
Plop, plop,
Over
fizz,
sizzling.
fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. I remember that one.
That's Alka-Seltzer.
What about the Pepto Bismol commercial that they got out now?
Diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Upset stomach diarrhea.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the most beautiful sound I've ever heard when someone says diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Yeah, I feel
I'm
that
like,
way.
Especially, yeah.
That's fantastic.
I totally feel that way when I've got diarrhea. It's like, what's your diarrhea?
Every day. It's
horrible.
sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So where are we with our kids being exposed
Oh,
to?
epic.
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Yeah, our kids are being so by those commercials. Do you think that like the Ozempic and those kind of drugs? Do you think that we're teaching our kids to be really conscious about their weight again? I mean,
Absolutely.
Do you think that we're
Their
kind of
weight.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean,
Here's an easy
Absolutely.
fix.
Yeah.
The beauty industry makes billions of dollars
Yeah.
off of everyone's self-esteem.
Yep.
and our kids are the first ones to take the hits.
Absolutely.
we're-
Because we're old enough to not believe in that shit.
Right,
Right.
but they're
But
being
we
raised
don't
right out
care
of the gate.
anymore.
to-
Right. We don't give two shits.
Yeah. We don't care anymore.
right. But no,
Well, it's obvious.
I do kind of freaking concerned that
Oh,
I didn't do anything. I know. I'll save it for later.
okay.
Um,
Later.
I just think that we are teaching our kids to be self-conscious about
Mhm.
we're not teaching them to be healthy.
I had a mother
We're
for
teaching
that.
them-
I don't need TV telling it to me.
You know, we're just teaching them that they need to be very self-conscious. It's not even about being healthy. It's just
Did you
It's
see
just-
some of these? I don't know if anybody watched the Met Gala, all the dresses and stuff.
Oh
that
yeah,
they-
the craziness.
Oh my God
What
in
the hell is a
heaven!
Met Gala? What does that mean?
It's a fundraiser for something,
The rich and famous.
and the rich and famous go dress. This year it was
are they going to the ballroom?
Well, it was like a theme.
Ballroom, yeah.
It's a themed thing.
It was
Yeah.
a themed thing.
It's
Wasn't
like
it?
something about art.
Yeah.
So Heidi Klum showed up in she looked like a alien out of somewhere. She had, it was just weird. But anyway, stuff like that makes kids, you're watching that and you're like,
Are we boring you?
Well, no, and then it's all about no. Then it's all about individuality. Well, why can't I be myself?
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I
How
don't
much
care.
is it about being their self, and how much of it is just
Drawing
Follow-
attention.
Following
There, that's
following
exactly-
someone else or drawing it. Yeah,
drawing attention?
everybody's got to be the best. I'd have to have the best dress.
I
have to
don't.
have the best. Right.
I don't.
It's always a competition.
I do.
Everything's a competition.
It is.
It is. Well, it used to be. Like I have this cousin who we were actually very close when we were younger, and we would always see who would have the best clothes on. Like at a family gathering, we'd be like, "Oh yeah, we got to get dressed up because I know my cousin's going to be there, and I'm going to have a better outfit than her on. I'm going to look better than her." So it was always like a competition, who could wear the best outfit to the family gathering. Like how lame is that? But I get it.
Mine would have been what best hand me down do I have? Because I would see it clothes from my cousin. Poodle skirt. Yeah. You see me?
I would pay.
I'd pay
Money
$10
and
to
see
in a
see that
poodle
shit.
skirt?
Do you have a photo of that?
No,
No.
but I do have her on a skirt.
You do?
Yeah, I have
I'd like to see that.
dress.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, she's a bridesmaid that looks like she's got on a pizza Hut
Tablecloth.
That's fantastic. I would love it.
with a matching hat.
With a
You have a
matching
hat? You have a hat?
Yes.
Whose
I don't
wedding
have
were
it
you
anyway.
in?
It was a girl I knew at Ball State.
So
A
You're
good
such a
friend of
good
mine.
friend. Annis.
Yeah, it did. It looked like a Pizza Hut tablecloth.
So it was like red and white checkered?
Yeah.
No shit. It's
With
awesome.
one of those white
sun hats.
like a sun hat
Oh,
type deal.
oh my God. I got to
Totally 70s, baby.
Oh, man. We
Maybe
got to see that.
You haven't seen pictures of Tom and Kathy's wedding when Tom got married the first time.
No,
We had little muffs
kind of got disappeared. I
because it
think.
was a December wedding.
It was hand muffs.
Hand muffs.
Well,
one of
do you
those
think we
things.
need to conclude this
Is it time?
pod?
No, we got about 6 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's get back on task then.
Yada yada.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, let's get
Lisa's
back.
like, you're talking about
Kids are
dresses.
exposed to
Yeah.
stuff too soon.
And if they were exposed to Anne wearing a checkered dress, that's probably
That's
why they're
right.
not doing so well right now.
I'll have to pull the picture out and show it later
Yeah, we will share the picture.
because I do have it.
So
Trying to go back to your subject
yeah,
about kids doing things for attention.
yeah,
My son was one of them, of course.
right.
And then he would complain that he was getting attention.
Right.
Love that about
And
him.
I told him, I said, well, if you're going to paint your fingernails black and wear the black eyeliner, you are going to draw attention to yourself.
Boy.
You're not trying to just melt in with the melting pot. Well, I should be able to be who I want to be. Okay, well, then take your licks with it
Right,
because you're going to
That's
stand
what's
out.
going to happen.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
He had to learn that the hard way, and I still don't think he's learned it. but-
Oh.
Well, we get in trouble if we stare at them too long. We get in trouble if we don't stare at them enough. It's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't. And you know what? I don't envy any young person these days because it's so confusing trying to be those people.
Yeah,
I am a non-judgmental person, period. I don't care what you look like. As long as you're a good person, I will
but she don't get it wrong. She will laugh at you.
I will
I want
not
to.
laugh at you. If that is a hurtful thing, I will not laugh at you. But if you will let me, I will.
Right.
Well, like Hayden, she's got this award ceremony going on tonight at the Boys and Girls Club.
Right,
She wanted to wear a dress. Okay, actually get a dress, not a skirt
right,
Mm-hmm.
and not a tank top
right,
Yeah.
or a tube top.
No.
That's
Right.
too much skin.
right.
maybe-
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Well, and
Yeah.
I tried to get her to go back and change like 4 times. And of course, she's getting aggravated with me. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, yeah, that ain't going to work. I don't like that shirt. Nope.
She's 17, by the way.
16.
I was
Oh,
gonna say, wait a
16,
minute.
that's right.
I was gonna say, didn't she just turn 16?
my friend Anne is like we mentioned. She's very
special.
old. She's very old.
She's special.
On the urge of dementia.
I'm working on it.
Can someone work on dementia? Is
I'm
that
trying
Alice.
as hard as I can.
as hard as I can?
Anne doesn't like a lot of things, so she intentionally tries to forget them.
Yep, that's right.
Knock it out.
But
Or
no,
pretend
I
like it's not there.
I definitely know what you mean about kids and
They want to be unique, but yet
They don't
they
want
don't
to
want the
stand out.
consequences that come
Right.
along with it.
right.
Well, you shouldn't have to worry about people making fun of you
You shouldn't.
Or consequences.
because that's
Right.
but
but the reality is it's going to happen.
and that's my point.
Mhm.
That is my point is, the reality is, good parents would say, you're perfect the way you are. Do whatever you want. Say whatever, be you
yeah,
100%. But if you don't ready your child for what's going to happen when you
The
do
bad.
that, because it
Right.
will happen, they're going to come home and they're going to be devastated because you didn't tell them the truth.
and that's
Well-
like Liam with his mullet. He's got hair down the middle of his back.
Right.
He gets made fun of for that.
Right.
That's who he is.
I think it is adorable.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I mean, that's who he is. But he don't really care though. He's
I
love
he's
that
getting
about
to
him.
the point- he did it first, I
Yeah,
think, but now he don't.
But he didn't care enough to cut it.
right.
He dealt with it. He felt
Yeah.
it came,
And that's what
and now it's like
right.
whatever.
And that's what individuality means, is to not only want to do those things, but live with whatever consequence comes with, but love
Right.
yourself.
Right.
Love yourself.
And we're
Right.
used to that. We're lesbians. You and Stephanie have it a little easier,
We do.
because you blend in. Like if you're not together with Anne, you're fine. People don't look at you and say, "Oh, there's a lesbian."
No, but I don't.
No.
If they ask, I'm not shy about it.
They
Right.
think I'm a guy.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't probably the question
Sure.
never comes up about it. But somebody like me, they see me, they know. So I wear. My consequences are just being who I am, and
You know what I think is really funny? When we go to dinner, Lisa and I will go to dinner. They always say, "Is this one check or two?" I'm like, "It's two, and she's paying."
There you go.
And
But-
then and they'll say to Lisa, they'll be like, "Yes, sir," or "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah.
They're not sure what to say.
Yeah.
They're clearly confused, and I
Right.
think it's kind of funny. But I'm like, it's funny to me because I know. You know what I mean?
Because she looks the part and you don't.
Right.
And it doesn't.
And I'm her mother.
Some people get
awesome.
get very angry that look like me when somebody calls them sir or whatever. Like, it doesn't bother me because it's
Yeah.
like I have short hair, and
You
it
expect to be called.
you know what I
that
mean. It
person
doesn't. It
or
doesn't.
that. You expect to be called what you look like, right? I
But
feel like
but some of these people they got to be called. What is it? They them.
they them.
They, them,
yeah.
he,
What do
she,
you? Yeah. What
him,
do
her.
You,
titles.
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
that,
You
I
know,
don't understand
and-
that whatsoever.
And I don't. I think that's
How do you
confusing to
identify?
kids.
I'm polyamorous.
Okay, that's just a fancy way of saying you're
I'm-
bisexual.
I'm unamorous.
What the fuck is unamorous?
Don't care.
Don't care. You'll have sex with anything.
But
No.
Oh,
Won't have sex with anything.
oh, you won't.
No.
I thought that was asexual,
Is that what that is?
right?
I don't know.
No.
But
But
my-
anyway, I'm trying to make a point.
Okay,
Oh.
what's the point?
And we've been waiting. Make the point.
While we're young,
Just move on.
I just
forgot.
lost it.
I don't know what the point was.
But here's my. I can see how kids have such a rough time, but some of that they just bring it upon themselves because
Yeah.
they bring all
Sure.
this
Attention
this
to
all this
themselves.
baggage with them,
Mhm.
you know, and you try to explain it to them, and then of course you don't understand because
I have a perfect example.
okay, well I'm ready
We'll
to
close
hear
it out with
Yeah,
that.
we're going to close it up.
Hayden went to a ball game of one of the grandsons up in Michigan. She wanted to wear her dress, which was kind of sexy, very tight fitting, very short, with leggings. And I wasn't going to argue with her. I said, "Go right ahead, whatever. I'm not fighting." Somebody had called her, she looked like a whore.
Looks like a
shit.
hooker.
An adult male said that about Hayden.
Wow.
She overheard them. My daughter and her husband were not happy that Hayden wore that dress. I said, "I'm not fighting her on every outfit she wears. She will learn
Mm-hmm.
from the outcome." And then I felt really terrible because she was over on the swing set crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over there and I said, "What are you upset about?" She goes, "They didn't like my dress." I said, "Hayden, it has nothing to do about your dress. You're not dressed appropriate for the ball field.
Right. For where you're at.
Correct.
You look like you're getting ready to go to a bar."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and I wasn't going to fight you because then I don't know. Then you're not being yourself. You're not being able to wear your style. And I get tired of the fight.
Right.
Understood. Maybe
So-
we should just let them learn on their own.
To a
Well,
point,
to a
but you
point.
still, but you
To a
keep,
point.
you do
you
have to
get-
protect them.
you got to keep them on a leash that they don't realize they're on a leash. They'll only get them so far because if
Now
you
we're
don't,
talking about putting our kids on a leash. Hell.
it's an invisible leash, but I do agree that life is missing a little bit of tough love, and some of that tough
Sure.
love is
Right.
letting kids learn
Agree.
A hard
you know,
way.
and just be there to pick them up and say, okay, what did we learn from this experience?
Right.
You know,
and that's what
right.
I did. I said, "Well, I guess you won't wear this dress again."
Right to
She's
the
like,
ballpark.
"No." And I'm like,
Right.
"Well,
And there might be a situation where but the point is, you do dress for the occasion, you dress for where you go, or people are going to
Call
say
you out.
something."
because
They're going
there's
to call you out.
you know, and unfortunately, the world is full of assholes that are just sitting there waiting for something to call you out on.
Absolutely.
I
They
mean,
can't wait.
right? And
Yeah.
if you make it easy for them, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You got to try to make it a little tougher.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, I guess we're going to
Adios.
close this end of our podcast. Thank you for joining us for the soapbox. Thanks to Stephanie and Jamie for coming in here, and we'll see if we can rope them into the next one.
Oh, Lord.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.